room closes at 9. So we're trying to. I did. Alright. That's the superstar. We got her. Dinner room closes at 9 p.m. Room closes at 9. Beautiful. That's all I can hear.
the reception, a glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was gonna meet her connection.
This great state. This November, we are going to win. We will beat veto. We will keep Texas red up and down the entire ballot. But most importantly, we will preserve the values that have made Texas, Texas.
Say what?
Is everybody ready? Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, what excitement. But you know what? I want you to do one thing. Do y'all see that moon up there? Take a look at it. You know what it's saying? Texas did the right thing again.
Congresswoman there on her way to being reelected. So early that she is leading her race as well. So, a lot of people have been asking me, when is Mandela going to take the stage? We don't know. I mean, everybody's here just waiting like everybody else to find out when, we could get some sort of finale. It could be a while. So, I mean, a lot of people are just waiting for those results to come in. And hopefully get those in the boxes.
Man, I got this swag. My head up to my bed. Man, I got this swag. My head up to my bed. You know I'm popping tag. But man, I got swag when I serve. Now I be surfing swag. I'm on him.
Tell me we have some Georgia Democrats in the house. Good evening, everyone. I'm State Representative Carolyn Hughley, and I'm joined by State Representative Al Williams, all the way from Midway, Georgia. And we're standing tonight with our dear friend Stacey Abrams. Oh, yeah. The Bible says that your gift will make room for you. And Stacey has a gift. She is the most gifted politician, leader, friend in the entire state of Georgia. And I'm so proud to be with her tonight. Stacey is a kind of person who stands in love. She leads in integrity. She sees everyone with her eyes, and she listens, and she feels with her heart. And when she sees a problem, she has a plan to fix it. That's our Stacey. So I'm proud to be here tonight. And I'm proud of all the work that you all have done, because Stacey is that gift. And she's been a gift not only to Georgia, but to this entire country. All right. And we have stood with Stacey since 2007, when she came to the Georgia House. And she came to the Georgia House with plans. And if you know Stacey, she is going to challenge you to be your best self. And she's challenged all of us, and she's challenged this state of Georgia to be better, to be its best self. And so I have to yield to Al Williams, and we don't know what he's going to say, but we're going to yield to Al Williams. And I want to say that we stand in love, and I appreciate each and every one of you, because Stacey is indeed our gift. Hallelujah.
First, let me say, to God be the glory. 2007, I met a young lady that was unbelievable. 2011, I was blessed with being just one seat away from her in the State House, as long as she was our leader. And you know, I stand here tonight just so full of joy. My joy comes from the fact that in April of 1965, I marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge with John Lewis just to see that black folk got a chance to vote. I went to jail 17 times in the civil rights movement just to see that we could be here tonight to celebrate probably the greatest political mind this state has ever produced, and that's Stacey Abrams. I stand here tonight because I have 3 grandchildren that can look back and say, because of the struggle, because we bled, because we died, we're here this evening. And I want you to know my soul is happy. I am happy because I know that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord, and Bishop, who live according to his word. And I'm telling you, Georgia has never produced but one Stacey Abrams. And I want you to know that tonight we stand with a woman that stood for right. We stand with a woman that was here because women needed voices. We stand with a woman because children needed voices. We stand with a woman because we all needed voices. We stand with a woman who does not believe you should just love a baby as a fetus, but love a baby as a child. We stand with a woman that believes that you can believe in the Second Amendment and save the lives of second graders. I stand with her. And in the twilight of my political career, at 13 years old, my aunt and my mother drove me around a little community called Liberty County. And I knocked on doors for John Fitzgerald Kennedy because I believed this world could do better. And I've worked hard for Stacey Abrams because I know Georgia can do better. And I want you to know I will never, ever back down from the fact that we passed legislation to send billions of dollars to Georgia that a governor used for his political advantage and never got a Republican vote. I stand for those that stand for right. And I ain't scared to say it. I love Joe Biden because he's our president and he is honest, he's not a liar, and he's not an abuser of women. And I stand with Joe Biden. And so as I leave the stage this evening, and the bishop knows that ain't no Baptist deacon ever left after saying one time he was going to leave. But I'm leaving right now. And I leave you with this. This is an opportunity. It is a lesson. We will stand with Stacey. We will change Georgia. We will lift this state up. And we know that God knows that only what we do for Jesus will stand, and I stand with Stacey because she is for right. God bless you.
Well, good evening, Georgia Democrats and enlightened Republicans. Somebody say amen. I'm going to follow the theme of church. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. It is a privilege to be here. My name is Lisa Borders, and I'm Stacey's friend. You all are family. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. I met Stacey in 2004. She was deputy city attorney for the city of Atlanta. We went through a program called Leadership Georgia, and I subsequently ran for office and became president of city council. Stacey was my lawyer, and you know I got some damn good advice. Each and every one of us has watched her on this journey, and there are at least 3 things that have happened. Not just for Georgia, but for this country. We have all been informed, we've been inspired, and we've been impacted. Somebody, we've been informed, we've been inspired, and we've been impacted by Stacey Abrams. She's special. Are you with me? Yes. She is special. So let me tell you how special she is. In my life, she has been incredibly supportive. When my father passed, she was one of the first people that I called, and she was the only one who came to sit with me at 2 in the morning at Waffle House for 4 hours. The only one. She is talented. Every time I see her on TV, I get chills. She can roll with Rachel Maddow and anybody else they throw at her with the data, with the facts, and with the distinguishing argument. Amen? Stacey is also an advocate, not only for me and my family, but for you and your family and all of Georgia, and arguably for the country, because she was running for governor here, but she is the brightest star in the Democratic crown. Somebody, are you ready? She's also been my confidant. When I've had information that I needed to share or somebody I needed to talk to, I would share it with Stacey, and she would hold space for me and not share it with anybody else. You know, that's hard to find in today's environment. She's empathetic. I've watched her for 20 years. But I've also watched her on this campaign trail as she met people from all 159 counties in this state. And she was an active listener, empathetic for what was happening in their lives. Last but not least, I'll be 65 in a couple of weeks, but Stacey, she's young. She's young, which means we got a lot of time and a lot of stuff to do. And let me leave you with this. There can never be a rainbow without a storm. We are in the eye of the storm, and Stacey is the rudder. She is helping to guide us. She ain't going anywhere. She's going to be right here with the family. Supportive, talented, an advocate, a confidant, empathetic, and young. What does that spell? Stacey. Are you with me? Stacey, y'all get on your feet and welcome my sister from another mister. The one and only. The one. In the shadows. A public servant like no other. Baby, kiss me. Stacey Yvonne Abrams. Your heart is flowing, and I'm crashing into you. Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Daddy. It is good to be here in this moment, surrounded by your love and support. And let me begin by offering congratulations to Governor Brian Kemp. Our state has experienced one soul-crushing crisis after another over the past few years. But even during these trying times, the fighting spirit of Georgia has prevailed. We've seen what's possible when we stand up for our neighbors and protect each other. We've made sacrifices. We've pitched in. We've seen each other's fights as our own, and we've done things we never thought we could. It is in the spirit of that endurance and that persistence that I decided again to run for governor. Look, I got into this race for one reason and one reason only, to fight. And not just any fight, a fight to save Georgia. A fight on behalf of our children and generations to come. A fight on behalf of our people, whether they know it or not. A fight for basic human rights that we should take for granted, but we have to struggle to hold on to. And a fight for the values that we hold dear and we may never sacrifice. I got into this for a fight for what we know to be true deep down in our bones, that the state of Georgia, the people of Georgia, deserve more. Over the last year, in big cities and small towns, in living rooms, in classrooms across the state, I have met thousands of people face to face. It feels like 2.3 million. And here's what I know for sure. We come from different backgrounds, different religions, speak different languages. We have different dreams, and we feel passionate about different issues in very different ways. But despite our differences, despite what people will tell us separates us, for the most part, we want the same things. We want to live in a Georgia that works for everyone. A Georgia where every person has a voice in our democracy and doesn't have to show up early to make it so. Because voting is a fundamental right, not a privilege for the wealthy few. A Georgia where we can all breathe clean air and drink clean water because we decided to use our power to fix our climate and save our planet, not drill down to take titanium out and spoil what we have in the state of Georgia. A Georgia where hope lives in the heart of every child, but it sits there, rests there along with opportunity because we invested in quality public education, a pathway to a life full of dignity, and no shooters in their schools. A Georgia where every person can not only afford to see a doctor, but there's a hospital if they need one. They can get their prescriptions filled because drug companies and insurance companies aren't able to block it, and because we've expanded Medicaid because 500,000 Georgians deserve access to health
is why we fight. I am talking about the Georgia of our greatest imagination. And here's what gives me hope. Over the last year across this great state, countless Georgians were ready to come off the sidelines and fight for that Georgia. Standing behind me is one of the most extraordinary women I have ever known. From the moment I got into politics, I have always promised to level with the people of Georgia. And I am here to tell you that what we have architected in this state does not end today. And this woman is one of the reasons why. Lauren Growargo is our champion. She is our friend, and she deserves our praise and our thanks, because this is the Georgia she's helping us build. I'm here because my friend Allegra Lawrence Hardy is one of the fiercest attorneys you will ever meet. And she has poured her heart and her soul and her time and her treasure to defending our rights and our democracy, and she will never be demeaned for doing for us what we can't do on our own. Thank you, Allegra Lawrence Hardy. I see in this crowd women and men who have been a part of this journey since I put my name on a ballot in 2006. And while I may not have crossed the finish line, that does not mean we will ever stop running for a better Georgia. We will never stop running for the truth that we know to be true, for the people we know need to see us, for the ones who don't know they deserve to stand, let alone run. And tonight, we must be honest, even though our fight for the governor's mansion may have come up short, I'm pretty tall. And I am here because this is a moment where, despite every obstacle, we are still standing strong and standing tall and standing resolute and standing in our values. And we know Georgia deserves more. And whether we do it from the governor's mansion or from the streets, whether we do it from the Capitol or from our communities, we are going to fight for more for the state of Georgia. That is what we're here for. That is our obligation. That is our responsibility. Now, tonight I am doing what is clearly the responsible thing. I am suspending my campaign for governor. I love you too. I may no longer be seeking the office of governor, but I will never stop doing everything in my power to ensure that the people of Georgia have a voice. You see, when I decided to run for governor, there were a lot of decisions I needed to make. But the first choice I made was to put the people at the heart of my campaign. That is why I am proud that over the last year, we have shaken the hands and hugged thousands of people. And y'all know how I feel about hugs. We are a campaign that not only hired canvassers, we hired outreach directors because we knew we couldn't ask for your vote when you were trying to find a death certificate for your family members. That we couldn't ask for your help when you couldn't pay your rent. And so we started a campaign that paid a living wage to every person we employed and that modeled the behavior we want for Georgia. Together, we rejected the doubts of the insiders and the cynics and the naysayers, and we chose to run this race for the people. And we didn't just make our case to Democrats. Because of your support, I've talked with Georgians of all ages, of all backgrounds, from red to blue to purple, and they are all ready for change. And while they may not have chosen change tonight, they had to think about it. Because together we have planted yet another seed in the soil for our democracy, for a better tomorrow, and that matters. And so to every volunteer, every organizer, every door knocker, every phone baker, every texter, every prayer warrior, every donor, every labor organizer, every person who lifted your hands and lifted your voices, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. To the people of Georgia, those who voted for me and those who looked at me, thank you for believing in me, and thank you for taking a chance on me. God bless you, Stacey. God bless you too. And while I'm thanking everyone, I have to take a moment and thank my family. My mother and my father, Robert and Carolyn Abrams. And y'all have heard my story. I come from a big family. My sister, Andrea Abrams. My brother, Richard Abrams. My brother-in-law, Brandon McLean. My brother-in-law, Jimmy Gardner. My niece, Faith. My nephew, Jordan. My niece, Erin. My niece, Ryan. My nephew, Cameron. My nephew, Devin. My cousin, Alex. And my sister, Audrey Janine Abrams McLean. I have another sister, Leslie Abrams, but she's not allowed to be out here because she's a judge. You all ground me. You sustain me. In times of triumph, you support me, and you bolster me in times of difficulty. I am reminded in the tradition of my friends Carolyn Hughley and Al Williams and Lisa Borders, and because I come by it honestly because my parents are Reverend and Reverend Abrams, I am too reminded of what Scripture tells us. 2 Corinthians 4:8 says this: we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. I know the results are what we hope for tonight, and I understand that you are hurting and you are disappointed. I am too. We may not have made it to the finish line, but we ran that race, and we know this path, and we know that running is what matters, that standing is what matters, that defending is what matters. And what I know for sure, what I say to DeBose Porter and Rebecca DeHart, what I say to Ashley Robinson and Sarah Beth Gale, what I say to Alan Essig and Jessica Bird, what I say to Jenny Castillo, and to the whole host of those who stand and fight and run and believe, I say that our vision and our values are never clouded, that our intention is righteous, that our future is bright, and while we may not write the story today, there will always be another chapter, and together we will get it done. Thank you so much.
mama, let me be. Don't come knocking round my door. I don't wanna see your shadow no more.
Arizona, how are you tonight? Are you ready to turn things around? We had a big day today, and don't let those cheaters and crooks think anything different. Don't let them doubt. Don't let them put doubt in you. We have a movement. We have a movement, and we know it. Did you feel it? Did you feel that movement? You know, I did a lot of praying to God. I've been praying to God every day, all day. And I said to him, you make this victory come whatever way you want. If it comes decisive on election day, then bring it to us that way. If we have to fight through the BS and the garbage, then we will fight through the BS and the garbage. But how do you get fair and free elections? You have to fight and win to make them fair and free. And we needed another stark reminder that we have incompetent people running the show in Arizona. Who is ready for a change? We had great patriots around this state show up today. It was so amazing. They showed up at the polls early this morning only to be told the election equipment didn't work. 2 minutes into voting, we had people being told, well, you're going to have to put your little ballot over here into another box. Guys, the fake media back there tried to tell us we were wrong for asking questions about our elections. Guess what? We are going to win this. We are going to win this. How many of you remember a couple months ago, August 2nd, the primary election? Wasn't that long ago. We came out and they said, oh, wow, they're 10 points down. The fake news was asking us to concede. And we kept climbing. We turned 15 points around and we won by 5 points. I just want you to know it's early. It's very early, and if we have to take this fight through, we will. If it takes hours or days, we will. But the great news is every single drop of election ballots that have come in the last 3 drops have shown us up 85%, 87%, 81%. I just want the propagandists back there to know, don't embarrass yourselves. Don't embarrass yourselves. Don't do it again. You've done it too many times. But what I want you to know is that the same movement we had last night at that rally in Prescott, the same movement we had at that rally in Scottsdale, the same movement we had at the rallies we've had before with record people is the same movement we have right this second. Nothing has changed. And I want you to know we are going to monitor the ballots. We got to work in the system that we have right now. And as they continue to come in and our numbers go up like they did last time, when we win, first line of action is to restore honesty to Arizona elections. Now, God did not put us on this fight because it was going to be easy. Not one thing that we've had to go through has been easy. We beat back a billionaire in the establishment, okay? Let's just be frank. We have had everyone come against us, tens of millions of dollars in spending coming against us. Nothing has been easy. When corruption has risen to the level that it's at right now, it takes tough, strong people. Are you tough and strong? Are you willing to continue this fight? Are you willing for incompetency to play itself out and the victory to come at us? I am willing to wait for that, and when we win, and I think it will be within hours, we will declare victory, and we will get to work turning this around. No more incompetency and no more corruption in Arizona elections. Now, I love you. I love you. I kind of feel like it's a Groundhog Day. We had November 3rd, 2020. That was called Incompetency 101. Then we had August 2nd, 2022, Incompetency in Elections 202. And now we're at Incompetency in Elections 303. We need honest elections, and we're going to bring them to you, Arizona. I assure you of that. The system we have right now does not work. We, the people, deserve to know on election night the winner and the loser. And we will bring that kind of election back to Arizona. I assure you of that. I love you too. I'm looking out. Guys, I'm looking out here at these beautiful faces of the children. Put your hand up if you're a young one in this audience, if you're a child. This is what it is about. We got involved for our children, and we will not stop fighting until we have every legal vote counted. So we're going to be patient. We're going to be patient, guys. We're going to wait. Right now, I told you the votes that are coming in are going our way, 81, 85, and 87%. And we will take the victory when it comes. And we will turn this around. Thank you, everybody. Let the partying begin. We know this movement is just beginning. I love you, Arizona. I love you, Arizona. I love you. Thank you, Arizona.
It's about you, the people of the state, and your future. And after 2 decades as a judge and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of North Carolina, I ran for the United States Senate for a simple reason. I love this state. But I see how Washington has failed people here. And over the last 19 months, I've met North Carolinians in all 100 counties. You shared with me your struggles, from jobs that don't pay the rent, to medication that costs too much, to loved ones who need health care but couldn't afford it, to small business owners who are the backbone of our economy and who need leaders with a backbone to do what's best for them. I've spoken with farmers who are paying way too much for fertilizer and for gas for farm equipment. I've heard from those who've been fearful of the threats to our democracy. And you've shared with me your hopes. Good schools for your children, regardless of your zip code. Safe communities to live in. Opportunities to prosper and thrive. I've seen time and again what I already knew. The people of our state are tough, resilient, and generous. And I heard from so many of you who wanted Washington to set aside the special interests and corporate donors and instead focus on helping our families, nurturing our communities. But while Washington focuses on pointing fingers, the people of North Carolina have to point forward. Because I, like all of you, still believe in a future where our rights are protected and our freedoms fulfilled. Where seniors can retire with dignity and prescription drugs don't break the bank. Where people can work one, not 2 or 3 jobs to support their families, and that you don't have to go to college to get that job. Where your leaders work for you, not themselves and not their corporate donors and special interest groups. No. No, you won't. While I certainly wish for a different outcome, I am not leaving the fight because the issues that I ran on are too important. And an election doesn't determine my voice. This country has never been promised. It always takes time. And always in the face of injustice and adversity, we continue to fight. By taking up the fight, we always make progress. It is because of this that I stand before you as the first African American woman to be nominated. To serve as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. This fight doesn't only make my dreams possible, it makes our dreams possible. And with unprecedented attacks on our rights and democracy hanging in the balance, we just cannot afford to give up the fight. So I thank each and every one of you for your hard work and your commitment for the last 2 years. I am so filled with gratitude and hope for having been in this fight alongside each and every one of you and all of you that came here this evening. I thank you so very much. The fight continues because progress will continue. Thank you all so very much, and God bless.
Thank you. of the votes out there that need to be counted. Right now, because on those windows, the voting memory cards into the voting machines, those are blinded by precinct uploaded right now into the tabulation system, and those are the results that you're seeing about every hour and a half that are being drawn here in Maricopa County. So a lot happening back there. As well as those 40 ballots that were dropped off today, those are still right there in the back part of the Maricopa County tabulation center. Now those will be counted first thing tomorrow morning. No idea how many have been dropped off. So there's just so many different layers right now, so many votes that still need to be counted, and that's why election officials say